I'm sure many of you saw my post about how quickly this post right here went south on the MMORPG subreddit, and you're probably thinking to yourself, well, it looks like it was doing good. Yeah, it was doing all right. It's not bad. It's pretty good. But the point is there was such a divide over here. It's just, you can't reconcile it. Some people, they don't see this genre the way we do, and because it's completely different, right? And you try to explain things, and they're just arguing, and it's getting toxic to the point where I'm like, I gotta get out of here. I think the final straw for me was when some blue-haired person came at me saying that basically my video is garbage, you should take notes, learn how to make videos, and I checked, and it's somebody with a very clear agenda who very likely saw my Christian section and said, what can I do that's gonna prick right at the heart of this guy? And that was like, all right, this place isn't for me. And you guys keep telling me over the years, don't post over there, EQ. I've heard that since probably 2013, 2014. You know, but the tendency is to want to share your stuff, and it's just really hard over here because like I said, there's just such a divide. And you know, the community over here, they're on one side of the spectrum, I'm on the complete other side of the spectrum, so that doesn't help. there's a huge gap there in the way that they think and I think. Two different generations. So if you haven't read any of this yet, this guy he's talking about, you know, I can't stand the leveling process, I just want to play the game. And I'm telling him, dude, you don't understand, it's not we don't want a game, we want a world that we live in. It's all about the journey, see? And you can basically break it down to these two principles right here. EQOA was all about the journey, heavy player interaction. World of Warcraft is about endgame raiding and zerging through dungeons like an ARPG, like Diablo, for example. Some people do not like this, okay? And that's fine. I get it. I completely get it if you don't have time to live like that, okay? Some of us do, and some of us really do want to go back to that place. You can call us losers, you can do whatever you want, but this is the way that we played MMORPGs, guys. The majority of our day, if we weren't at work, was in the game, interacting with people. It was a community that you felt like, it's I don't know how to explain it. It's like you walked into a village that was literally real. And when you were in that village, you were your character. You weren't just playing a video game, dude. So that's why, I mean, and I think maybe this is a good thing, because it's probably not good for people to get addicted like we did, right? But, well, it is what it is. This is our philosophy. These are the games that we want to play versus the games that they want to play. So somebody who's arguing with me over convenience and just what it means, and, you know, old school doesn't mean inconvenience, but it really does, dude. Old school MMORPGs that I grew up playing, that you did not grow up playing, and I can tell, are very, very different. They're inconvenient. Part of what makes them old school, and you cannot divorce these things. You can say to me, well, a game can be old school and not be hardcore because of this and that. Well, maybe it can have old school traits, but is it really old school? If it's not hardcore, no map, no mount, having to walk for 45 minutes, and if you die, having to do it again unless someone can port you there, experience that corpse run type stuff, you're not playing an old school MMO. You might be playing a game with old school mechanics in there, like an old school light version, but it's not P99. It's not EQOA. So this dude left a post, and it completely derailed everything. And it's just like, I don't even want to get into the discussion over what is and what isn't convenience. And then I realized after all this frustration, it's just two completely different lines of thought. It's so hard to get them to understand it, and it's hard to get me to understand exactly what it is they think. And then all of a sudden it dawns on me, oh, they want a video game. Duh. They want a video game. I want a world that you live in. Yeah. So they're completely different. They're two different things. I don't think you can reconcile these two communities. That's just the way it is. There's a huge divide, and out of what we want from this genre versus what they want. And let's face it, we're old, they're not. There's more of them than there are of us. So we're stuck with these old games that people are trying to bring back, you know. We've got games being worked on like pantheon and monsters and memories, etc. So, yeah, it's a dark age for people who like games like this, games that were meant to be lived in, social communities that were like a village that you lived in. And, you know, there's plenty of games, lots of video games to play, not so many worlds to live in. Anyways, I hope you guys like this. If you do like it, remember to leave a thumbs up and hit that notification bell so I can see you all in the next video. God bless. Bye-bye.